If your knees announce themselves before you even get out of bed, or your fingers feel stiff before your first cup of coffee, you already know something the rest of this video is going to explain. Joint discomfort after 60 isn't just getting older. It's often tied to something happening at a cellular level, something called inflammation. And while no food can switch that off completely, what you snack on between meals may be doing more to help or quietly work against you than you realize. Today we're looking at 3 dried fruits and nuts that show up again and again in research on joint comfort and inflammation. One of them has been studied specifically for stiffness. Another is one most people already eat, but rarely in the amount that actually matters. And the third gets confused with a very different product that won't give you the same benefit at all. Before we get to the first one, I want to be honest with you about something. None of these will reverse joint damage or replace a treatment your doctor has recommended. What they may do is support your body's ability to manage inflammation as part of an overall healthy pattern. That's a real meaningful thing, just not a miracle. Let's get into it. Snack number 1, walnuts. If there's one nut that keeps showing up in conversations about joint and heart health, it's the walnut. Walnuts are one of the few plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a form called ALA. Omega-3 are associated with helping the body regulate its inflammatory response. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is one of the mechanisms researchers point to when explaining why joints that felt fine for decades can start aching more consistently after 60. Here's the part that surprises people. You don't need a huge amount. A small handful, about 1 ounce, or roughly 7 whole walnuts, provides a meaningful dose of these fatty acids. The best way to enjoy them is raw or dry roasted, without added salt or sugar coating. Some people add a few to a bowl of berries, or eat them alongside a small piece of cheese for a simple afternoon snack. One caution here, walnuts are calorie dense. A small handful is a snack. A large bowl becomes several hundred extra calories without you noticing. Portion matters more with nuts than with almost anything else on this list. Snack number 2, cite almonds. The second snack is one almost everyone already has in their pantry, but most people eat far too few of them to get the benefit that matters here. Almonds are one of the richest food sources of vitamin E, a nutrient that functions as an antioxidant in the body. Antioxidants help neutralize unstable molecules called free radicals. Molecules linked to the kind of cellular wear and tear that can contribute to joint discomfort over time. Research has associated adequate vitamin E intake with supporting the body's antioxidant defenses, though it's worth being clear that vitamin E alone isn't a treatment for arthritis or joint disease. It's one piece of a much bigger picture. A reasonable serving is about 20 to 23 almonds, again, roughly an ounce. Raw or dry roasted, unsalted, is the better choice if sodium is a concern for you, since added salt can work against other health goals, like blood pressure management. Here's a mistake worth mentioning. Almond butter and almond milk are not the same as whole almonds nutritionally. Many almond milks contain only a small fraction of actual almonds, and some almond butters have added sugar or oils. If you're reaching for almonds specifically for this benefit, the whole nut is the more reliable choice. Snack number 3, Tart dried cherries. The third one is the one that surprises people most, and it's also the one most likely to get confused with something else on a grocery shelf. Tart cherries, sometimes labeled Montmorency cherries, contain a concentrated amount of anthocyanins, the same type of pigment compound found in blueberries and other deep red or purple fruits. Several studies have specifically looked at tart cherry intake in relation to markers of inflammation and joint stiffness, making this one of the more directly studied foods on today's list. Here's the mix-up to watch for. Sweetened dried cherries, the kind often sold as a trail mix ingredient, usually have added sugar, sometimes quite a lot of it. That's a very different product from unsweetened tart dried cherries or tart cherry concentrate, which is what the research is actually looking at. Reading the label matters here more than with almost anything else we've covered today. A reasonable serving is about a quarter cup of unsweetened tart dried cherries, or roughly 1 to 2 tablespoons of tart cherry concentrate mixed into water, if you prefer that form. Some people enjoy them stirred into plain oatmeal or yogurt. The detail, almost. Everyone misses. Here's something that connects all three of today's snacks, and it's the most important idea in this entire video. None of these foods work by fixing a joint. They work by supporting your body's broader ability to manage inflammation, a process that's influenced by your whole eating pattern, your activity level, your sleep, and your weight. Not any single ingredient. That means the biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong nut or fruit. It's expecting one snack to undo years of wear, or to replace a conversation with your doctor about persistent joint pain, swelling, or stiffness that limits your daily activities. If that describes what you're experiencing, these snacks are worth discussing with your doctor as a complement to your care, not a substitute for it. Myth versus fact. Myth: cutting out inflammatory foods and adding a few anti-inflammatory snacks can eliminate joint pain. Fact: inflammation and joint discomfort are influenced by many factors: genetics, past injuries, weight, activity level, and underlying conditions like osteoarthritis. Diet is one meaningful piece of that picture, not a complete solution on its own. Foods like walnuts, almonds, and tart cherries may help support your body's inflammatory response as part of an overall healthy pattern, but they work alongside medical care, not instead of it. A word of caution. A few things worth knowing before you start. If you have a tree nut allergy, walnuts and almonds are obviously not for you. There are other food sources of omega-3s and vitamin E your doctor or a dietitian can suggest instead. If you're managing your weight or blood sugar, keep portions in mind. Nuts are nutrient-dense, but they're also calorie-dense, and dried fruit, even the unsweetened kind, is more concentrated in natural sugar than the fresh version. And if you're on blood thinners or other medications, it's worth mentioning any significant dietary changes to your doctor or pharmacist just to be safe, bringing it together. So here's where that leaves us. Walnuts offer omega-3s that may help support a healthy inflammatory response. Almonds provide vitamin E, an antioxidant that may help protect joint tissue from ongoing cellular wear. And tart dried cherries bring a concentrated source of anthocyanins that have been studied specifically in relation to joint stiffness and inflammation markers. None of these are a cure. But as small, consistent additions to your day, alongside movement, a balanced diet, and your doctor's guidance, they're a genuinely reasonable, low-risk choice for many people looking to support their joints as they age. If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. Which of these three do you already eat, and which one is new to you? Your answer might help someone else watching who's dealing with the exact same stiffness you used to have. If you'd like more practical, evidence-based videos like this one, consider subscribing to Prime Health Insights. We publish new videos each week to help you stay informed, active, and independent after 6-0. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It should not replace personalized medical advice from your doctor or another qualified healthcare professional. If you have a chronic joint condition, food allergies, or take prescription medications, speak with your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet. Thank you for watching, and take good care of your joints.